Hi, everybody. Welcome to Football Inc. There's no Sean today. It's me. I'm flying solo. So go easy on me, guys. Go easy on me. Anyone who was here for yesterday's debacle where I couldn't actually find the button amongst the mirrored buttons there are on the back screen here in the StreamYard studio. Guys, you know what to do. If you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, helping us try to grow the channel, heading towards 6,000. And if you're listening on audio, walking the dog or walking the wife, you can find us on Apple and Spotify audio. And this is a bit of housekeeping. To a big thank you to our sponsor, OK Jersey. See down there below me. Right now, there's 1,901 reasons why you can go onto their website, if you know what I mean. If you're a Spurs fan, you'll understand that one. And purchase some of their sportswear using the code FINK, as is the bottom right-hand corner. You will get yourself an 8% discount at checkout. Guys, where to start? Well, I think there's only one place to start, and that's the news that Micky Van de Ven has been linked with a move to Liverpool. Listen, it's not the first time he's been. This has been muted. We've heard stories about Real Madrid. We've heard stories about Barcelona, but the one concrete one that seems to have come to the fore is the one linking him with Liverpool. Obviously, after missing out with Mark Gahey to Manchester City, they're desperate for a centre-back. I personally can't see how Spurs can sell him. That's my opinion. But when a player wants to go and he's decided he's had enough, it's very hard to keep him. I mean, he's got contracts to 2029, June 2029. So he's got another 4 years on his contract, I think, with another year option. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, if they are going to sell him, bearing in mind that under Levy, we never sold anyone. But I'll be honest with you, if he really wants to go, and we can be certain and promised from Vinay, whoever it is, that Spurs are going to reinvest this money properly, not on some tin pot. I'm not interested in buying 5 players for £20 million. I'm being properly invested, not how we did with the Bale money and the Modric money, where we wasted majority of it. That this money is going to be put to good use, but we don't know with this board where we are at the moment. Lots of promises. But look, we know. What do we know about Mickey this season? 6 goals, 1 assist. I mean, he's been instrumental, really. He's been our sort of standout player this season, and a player that this club can really hardly do without. But if he moves on, then so be it. We've seen the confrontation with the fans in a couple of the games at Brentford. It was pretty ugly. I was there when he came over to the fans. Very unnecessary, I thought. But I'm not sure what you guys think. I mean, I don't know what's your favourite Micky Van de Ven moment. I don't know whether it's the goal he scored against Copenhagen or the moment where he cleared the ball off the line to let us win in Bilbao. Probably for me, Bilbao, because that meant more to us. Obviously, the goal's a personal achievement for him, but clearing that ball off the line, that magical, iconic moment that will probably be embedded in history of him stretching out and reaching under the bar somehow to keep that ball out. But I think right now, as Spurs fans, we've got a lot to be complaining about. Let's be honest. Johan Lang has done nothing really to endear himself to the fan base. I mean, what have we done? We sold Brennan Johnson, and we bought in Conor Gallagher, and we bought in a kid who can't even play at the moment from Brazil. So I'm not sure. I don't see anything. We're here now. It's the 22nd. What have we got? 9, 10 days left of the transfer window, and we are sleeping. We are sleepwalking into problems. A club full of problems on the injury front. Our squad is all over the place. We're putting square pegs in round holes, and this board seemed to be doing nothing. I'm not sure. Let's see what some of the comments are saying. What's this? Beyond, nah, 100 million isn't worth it. He's unique. He's unique because he gets us up off of our feet, I guess. Because how many players really get us off our feet in that team? Not many, or if any. I mean, Kudus did it for a little while, but that was about it, I think. What else have we got here? To be fair, Johnny, that Lang fella gets told that he can do, he can't do. Yeah, look, but he has to go and find them. He has to find the opportunities. I don't want to keep going on about Lookman because I've done it till I'm blue in the face. But, you know, Lookman, £1.5 million loan. Come on, we should be all over that to the end of the season. Get us over the problems we got now down on the left-hand side. But, you know, Liverpool somehow have got the money. So let's see. Can Liverpool just keep on spending after? Well, there's a good question. I'd love to see their FFP. I mean, bearing in mind that they're desperately in need of centre-backs. I mean, it was a huge mistake by them to let Quansah go to Bayer Leverkusen without actually having a replacement for him. And then thinking that they were going to bring in Gahey, and that cost them. And this sort of posturing, no, we're going to wait and buy Gahey in the summer. And Man City stole a march on him. But I reckon 100 million is not enough. When I think about, you know, Maguire going for sort of 8 million, Virgil van Dijk and the money that went for him all those years ago, Mickey is a unique footballer. The pace, his scoring ability, yeah, I think he's unique. I don't think there is anyone quite like him in world football right now, defending wise. And maybe we should be looking, you know, at setting a world record for him being the most expensive player that's ever been sold. But I don't know what you guys think. While we're on Spurs, we'll move on to other things afterwards. After this stream's finished, if you go onto my Insta or my Twitter feed, you will see a video that I shot during the game against Dortmund of Lucas Bergvall, who took a knock to the ankle and was visibly limping. He was in trouble. He was in pain, right? So he's limping around. He's looked to the bench. No one seems to be interested in him or asking, is he okay? But you could see he was in pain. Then the game stops and eventually he goes down on the ground. The medical team come on. They look at him. He gets up. He goes off. They ask him to jump up and down on his ankle, right? And I'm thinking to myself, you can see he's in pain. He's been wandering around on it for like 3 minutes, obviously struggling, and you're making him do squat jumps. It gave me flashback memories of what they did, exactly the same thing they did with Dragusin on the sideline and what they did with Kulu, exacerbating any injury. Now, I understand they got to find out what's wrong, but, you know, they don't have X-ray machines there, so they can't tell. But when you've got a 20-year-old who's just going to say to you, I'm fine. You know, someone has to make an executive decision when you are, you know, threadbare. We've hardly got any midfielders. We've hardly got anyone. And no one makes that decision. So what happens? He runs along the touchline and he goes back onto the pitch. And the same thing's happening. You see him pulling his jersey up over his head, biting his thing like this, like wincing, putting his hands to his head. Still nothing. And then there was a moment a few minutes later when Dortmund put a ball into the box and he's still on the pitch trying to defend. And eventually he's taken off. So you can imagine my dismay. You can hear all through the video where I'm like fuming about what's going on, and yet they left him on, took him off eventually for a moment with Janai Byfield, fabulous moment. But we then hear that he's out for up to 3 months from Ben Jacobs. It's shocking. It's shocking. I just don't know where this club is going. I don't know who we hired a new medical team. Did we hire the medical team from the crack house? Listen, the way this club's going, look, they were advertising on LinkedIn for medical staff. No experience necessary. Hop on down to Tottenham Hotspur Way and we can, you can get a job. I don't know. They cleared out a lot of the medical staff. I've heard today from a few people who put on the messages on the tweet saying, I don't understand football. I don't understand how it works from a medical procedure. I get that. I'm not medically qualified, but what I do know, I can see with my eyes. I can see a player that's struggling. I can see, as I said, that we have massive injury crisis and someone who is struggling. Take him off. I think it's exacerbated it, but I just don't know what. Let's see some of the comments. Where is our signings for Spurs? Well, Simon, I think you'll have to ask Johan Lang. It's a magic trick. I think there's more chance of players disappearing than anyone signing. Let's see what we got here. Micky Van de Ven might be worth more than 100 million to Spurs, but as a player, how many top clubs are after him? Not many. Man City went to Gui, but Pep would have gone for him if they thought he was a better player. I'm not so sure that that's the case, Lynn, because you got to remember, his contract runs to 2029. So you're looking at another 3 years plus 1, 4 years. Whereas the Mark Gahey contract was running out in the summer. And they knew that Liverpool and Arsenal, well, Real Madrid, Barcelona, all would have been interested in a player of Mark Gahey standing in the summer. And that's why they took first mover advantage and went for him early. So, no, for me, look, I want Micky Van de Ven to stay 100%. I do. But if he wants out and he's twerking for it and we can rebuild. But again, how can we trust this board? How can we trust ENIC Mark II, wolf in sheep's clothing, or genuinely looking to spend the money? What I would like to see is a new director of football in, someone of standing, whether it's Mitchell or Campos or someone with some credibility that we can show, look, we have intent. I don't see the intent right now in some of these players. I really don't, with some of the plans that they've got. Let's see here. There's only 1 or 2 teams. Yeah, Micky Van de Ven doesn't walk straight into in the starting lineup. It's bollocks. Yeah, well, Jake, I get you. I understand you. But obviously, agents have got to do what they got to do. Whereas, YouTubers have got a content. Agents have got to spin stories and put stories out there. What would be nice when questioned, or if he gets questioned, is for him to turn around and say, look, I'm not interested. Forget the arguments you've seen me having and the discontent between myself and the fans. I only want to stay at this club. I've got no intentions of leaving the club. That will set a few, few things to bed. But listen, I don't know where we're going to go with it, but Spurs fans have had enough to deal with this season, and it's just one thing after another. For a YouTube content creator, there's always something to talk about with Spurs, and but most of the time is not good stuff. Need to sell it to sell winning more titles. Sean, where is Sean? Sean is having a sabbatical. He'll be back tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. So sorry, guys, you got to deal with me today. If it's putting you off, don't worry about it. Mark Gahey is a better defender, but speed and look. Mark Gahey is mature. He's been in the game a long time, came through the Chelsea Academy to Palace and now going off to Man City. Micky Van de Ven has had to go through around the houses, go to Wolfsburg, come to Spurs, but he's getting better. And what he might make up for in lack of certain leadership qualities, maybe that Mark Gahey has as captain of Crystal Palace, he can certainly make up for that and compensate that with some pace. Let's look at some other stories. Here's an interesting one, right? It's some interesting story that's come out of Paris, that serious allegations have surfaced in France involving a PSG player sending shockwaves through the football world. According to reports from the French media, a Colombian family has filed a formal complaint accusing a high-profile footballer and his wife of human trafficking and undeclared work. The footballer at the centre of the allegations is Lucas Hernandez, currently a defender, obviously at PSG. He's been part of the squad that won the World Cup in 2018. The complaint also involves his wife, Victoria, alleging that both were directly involved in the arrangement. I don't know what they've been doing. They've been holding them hostage. I don't know if they've had them locked up in the backyard. I don't understand these footballers. They've got all the money in the world. They're cosseted and they get everything they want. And yet you still find some arse that ends up behaving like that. But let's see some of the other comments we got coming in through here. Let's do some of the other transfer news. While we're talking about Gahey and Palace leaving, Jean-Philippe Mateta, he's got to be going to Juventus. I think they're trying to agree on the fee. Aston Villa would love to sign him. He would be their first choice, but due to the fact that they got their FFP and PSR, I can't see that one happening. So it looks like they're going to have to go to Juventus, but I'm not sure whether Juventus are going to be able to deal with Steve Parish, because let's be honest, Steve Parish is an absolute nightmare to deal with. Absolutely shocking to deal with. Other news, Roma are preparing a bid for Joshua Zirkzee. This one's been going on for a long while. Every time he tries to get out the club, it seems to be shot down. I'm not sure why they're keeping him, because they're definitely not playing him. They've been waiting in the wings, waiting for Mbeumo to come back from obviously AFCON Roma, but I'm not sure what they want in this transfer. I'm not sure whether Carrick is going to play him, and unless he plays him, they might as well get rid of him. One of the strikers that seems to be in big demand, I'm not sure whether they'll let him go before the transfer window closes, that's Strand Larsen. Aston Villa, again, looking at him, but also being looked at by Leeds, West Ham and Everton. I'm not sure what you guys think of Strand Larsen, to be honest with you. For me, good first season this season. Having Wolves stopped him from trying to leave, sign him on a new contract, and now he's sort of stuck there. He's looking to become, he's looked a bit better in the last couple of weeks, but for the money they're looking for him, 40-50 million pounds, I'm not sure how many people are going to go for him. For me, he's nowhere near worth that money. For me, he's like a 25 million pound player. I don't understand what it's all about with him. Let's see what some of you guys think. Very average. I totally agree. I totally agree. Let's see. Tony, he's toilet. That's probably about right. Toilet is about his level. Look, I mean, when a player scores goals, it's great. And then they step up to a bigger club. I don't see anything. I don't look at Strand Larsen and think, wow, there's a player I must have. Yeah. I mean, I look at Igor Thiago at Brentford and I see, I mean, he's not, again, not the finished article. He's had one season, but you can see he's got pace. He's got power. and he's got something about him. I don't see it with Strand Larsen, but someone like Leeds, I can see why someone like Leeds or West Ham or Everton, who are struggling, desperately need another striker, they might go for him. Aston Villa, I mean, obviously they need a striker. They need somebody. Tammy Abraham, I always liked him at Chelsea. Obviously, again, went out to Roma and then went out to Besiktas. I think that they paid £13 million Besiktas to take Tammy Abraham. He did have a bad injury, but maybe it's a big, a good call for Aston Villa to go for someone like Tammy Abraham. It's not a lot of money, and he's Premier League experience, so I don't mind that. I don't mind that deal. West Ham are doing more signings than Tottenham Hotspur. Unbelievable. This guy who they've just signed, I've never even heard of him, got to be honest. West Ham have completed the signing of Keeba La Madrid from Venezuelan club Deportivo La Guera on loan for the rest of the season. The loan has an option. Let's see. Foxy will definitely know about this one. There you go. Strangest deal of the day. I knew you'd be on this one, Foxy. West Ham bringing a player from Venezuelan league on loan. Do you know anything about him, Foxy? Because I know you probably will know you will definitely know it. You will definitely know him. I don't know anything about him. Guys, if you're here in the chat, please hit the like and hit the subscribe button. It's what helping the channel grow. As I said, Shawnee will be back here tomorrow. I'm feeling my way around. This is my sort of single debut. I'm popping my YouTube solo cherry today, so go easy on me because I'm about to make a few mistakes. But yeah, so they've gone to Venezuela. Here's an interesting bit of news. John Duran, yeah, do you remember that deal where he left Aston Villa for £70 million, having just coming on as a sub, looked like he had lots of potential. He goes out to Saudi Arabia because the Egyptian owner of Aston Villa is friendly with the Saudis. They needed FFP. You rub my back, I rub yours. Anyway, so he ends up in Saudi 6 months later. He went in the January last year. He ends up in Turkey. And by a series of events, John Duran had a 2-game ban for his club at Fenerbahce, and it's been rescinded to just 1 on appeal, which means that John Duran will be able to play against Aston Villa, his former club. So watch out for that one. Maybe get some money on, I'm not encouraging gambling, but maybe get some money on John Duran scoring against Aston Villa. It's going to be an interesting one now, and I'll be watching that one tonight. He is viewed, Crystal Palace have also, this is one just come out just literally in the last half hour. Crystal Palace have held talks with Wolves over a transfer to buy Jorgen Strand Larsen, who is valued around 40 million, and he is viewed as a possible replacement for Mateta should he leave, which is increasingly likely. I can't see Glasner accepting this one. Not that he's probably got any say in the matter, but why would you sell a 28-year-old Mateta who's scoring goals for a player like Strand Larsen and pay an extra 10 million on top? I don't get that one. For me, I can't see that happening. Here's an interesting one. Anthony Gordon being linked with Arsenal and Liverpool. He's probably been one of their better players this season, Anthony Gordon, but there's rumours that he'd quite like to go back to Merseyside, but he's not going to go back to Everton. I personally can't see him going to Liverpool, having been, with Everton. But you never know. They do cross over sometimes, not often, but they do sometimes. I would say, well, according to reports that Newcastle said to entertain such a deal from either Arsenal or Liverpool, they would have to be talking in the region of the same numbers as they sold Alexander Isak. So I can't see that one would probably be dead in the water. Actually, do you know whose birthday it is today? It is Jonathan Woodgate's birthday today, 46 years of age, currently Man United coach. And he, us Spurs fans, obviously, shouldering into the goal to win us the cup. It's his 46th birthday today. He also was dubbed, when he signed for Real Madrid, the worst debut in Real Madrid's history. He scored an own goal and a yellow card in the first 40 minutes. Poor bloke. You know, people don't forget these sort of things. Let's see what else. Johnny, did you think that the rest were much better than our rest? I'm not sure. Which refs? I'm not sure which refs he's talking about. I'm not sure. Let's see. La Madrid. So let's hear some more information on La Madrid, who signed for West Ham. He said he did well in the Venezuelan season that's just finished. You would know that, Foxy. Old-fashioned left-footed left winger. Expected him to get a good move, but not to the Premier League. Big jump. Listen, West Ham are doing anything they can to give Nuno the tools to rescue their season. It would be an unbelievable save if they pull it out. I just hope it's not us that they replace. Chelsea are at it again, signing more kids. They've agreed a deal to sign the talented 17-year-old fullback Yissa Allow from Sheffield Wednesday. The initial fee is 500,000 plus substantial add-ons. Chelsea beat 3 Premier League clubs to the signing, including Liverpool. I would wonder, if you were the agent for any of these kids, would you not be looking at what's been going on with some of these other kids who are holed up in a storage room somewhere or out in Strasbourg? Maybe this isn't the best move for you just now, because I don't know. I don't know. For me, it doesn't make any sense. They're buying so many young kids at Chelsea. There's no possible way they can all get a game. They can't all be loaned out. They can't all go to Strasbourg. And as I refer to them, I think of them as eBay FC, because all they do is buy, sell, trade. It's, for me, it's a business more so than a football club. And I'll come on to them and their performance last night. This one might set the cut amongst the pigeons. This is a player who I thought would end up at Manchester United till Ruben Amorim was given the boot. Real Madrid are considering a move for Portugal midfielder Ruben Neves, who is open to a move from Al Hilal. They believe a bid of around 20 million. You said 70 million. Now I've got 17 in the brain. I believe a bid of 20 million will be enough. And Neves' qualities means they have a more solid base in the middle of the midfield and won't be run through so easily. Quality player. I'd take him at Spurs tomorrow, 100%. And I think he would help a lot of clubs in the Premier League right now. But he doesn't need the money, so I think now it's about the football. So it'd be interesting to see. But I expect him to move from Al Hilal before that transfer window closes. Another player on the move, potentially. Nottingham Forest have had an offer for Napoli defender Matias Oliveira, rejected. A Uruguayan international teammate of Bentancur and Ugarte for the Uruguayan team, likely to play in the World Cup for them. That's about the transfer news at the moment. Let's do some what happened last. So let's have a look at the chat, guys. Hit this if you hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Really appreciate it. What we got here, Johnny? Just look at the coaches Chelsea are hiring. They are just a business club. 100%, Darren. That's all they are. That's all they are. Listen. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I'm a Spurs fan, right? But, if I was a Chelsea fan now, I'd be worried as to what this is all about. And you know, us Spurs fans, we'd like new owners to invest. But Todd Bowley was desperate to buy Spurs. It was only Daniel Levy making his demands that stopped it happening. What would we have looked like? I mean, yes, we would have had better players, but would we be happy with what's going on right now with this buying and selling? I don't know, because I hear from a lot of Chelsea fans. If there's any of you in the chat, then let me know what your thoughts are. But I've gone onto some of these Chelsea chat rooms, and a lot of them aren't happy. They're not happy with the PE teacher. And let's start with that. Let's start with them. The PE teacher last night, right? Chelsea playing Paphos in the Champions League. His fourth game. His debut, obviously, in the Champions League. And let's be honest, Paphos were brilliant. They defended non-stop. Their keeper, Gulta, was unbelievable last night. Save after save after save. And it looked like they were going to be humiliated. But it took a late goal from Caicedo, a header, to win that game. But I can't see how this PE teacher is anything more than a yes man for these owners. Because obviously Maresca, there was all the conversation about the medical guy sitting on the bench telling players he needs to come off now. And Maresca not listening. And so they ended up complaining to the bosses, and the bosses sent him a letter. He should have removed him. So there's Maresca taking players off early, like Cole Palmer, and getting booed by his own fans who have no idea that he's been ordered to take the player off. So when he refuses, he gets into trouble. They end up with a big row and he leaves. And then flip it over to the Spurs side, where we've got someone like Lucas Bergvall who's limping around and no one's telling him, you better take the player off. I know, I'd like something in the middle personally. And I'd also like to see the medical department and the directors of football sitting in front of the press, not just throwing the manager in, asking him about the medical and about signings and all the rest of it. Why not bring these guys in as well in a press conference? Let them answer 5 minutes on injuries or 5 minutes during the transfer. They don't need to come on all the time, but during the transfer window, they should be on asking questions. What's going on? Giving some, obviously not telling them who their targets are, but giving them something, saying what you're looking for. But we get you get nothing, absolutely nothing. Good game last night was Marseille versus Liverpool. I've got to say, I know it's not a popular thing, but first of all, did you see the tifo? I'm not sure if you saw the tifo last night. A really nice touch, a tifo of the Beatles, the Fab Four. Huge tifo came up in honour of them. It was a really good game. I don't think the score absolutely flattered Liverpool. I thought Ekitike had a really, really good game. A really good game. He was unlucky. Made a fantastic run from a Salah cross, but he fraction offside. Then he had another effort where he got in front of the defender. He makes fantastic runs. That's what we don't have. Hits the ball first time and came off the bar. He looks really, really good. The other player, Mason Greenwood. What a waste of a career. Honestly, he might be a dickhead, but that is a career so wasted. He looked fantastic last night. If I don't know how long he has to be with his girlfriend or his wife, or how long he's been with her now and had the baby, before people put that aside and concentrate on the football side of it. Because here is a player that's got two fantastic feet, and in my opinion, he's better than Marseille. What's this? De Zerbi is noting, but nothing but an Ange Postecoglou. Marseille was so open. I was impressed with Greenwood. I agree. Greenwood looked fantastic last night. But I don't think, I just don't think the British fan base will ever forgive him. And it seems ironic because like he's with this woman now, and they've had a baby, and if she can accept it and move on, maybe we can. But we're unforgiving. We're very unforgiving. He's on to his second child with her. Exactly. But I'm telling you, if he did not have this past, I think he could be on the verge of an England call up. That's how highly rated how high I rate him. I just think he's a really good player. It's natural, to have that left foot, right foot, and when you're trying to defend against that, knowing you can't push him onto your weaker foot because he can come inside it, or he can go on the outside, is a massive advantage. He's got the pace. He's got great peripheral vision. There was one ball he put in for Aubameyang that was absolutely sweet as a nut. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what some of the other Greenwood quality. Absolutely great player. Just don't talk back to him. Don't talk back to him, or you're going to get a slap. Yeah. That's the same. Well, I'd take him at Spurs, but the do-gooders. Did she have a choice? Come on, everyone has a choice. After you've called the police, after all this big case has gone on, they're looking at prosecuting him. You do have a choice. You certainly have a choice not to have a second child with him. But I don't know. What's this? Our fans need to just see that Greenwood was just a kid being silly. I know it doesn't look good. Look, I'm in your camp. I'll be honest with you. But I think we're in the minority. Big up, Jonny. Greenwood is a baller. I'd have him at Spurs. So would I. I just think he's just massively talented. He's made a mistake. Guys, when you were teenagers, when you were young, did you not make mistakes all the time? Did you not do stupid things? The difference is we weren't in the public eye. We weren't at the forefront of that fishbowl of fame and fortune. I'm glad I never had that or ever had to experience such a thing, because it's awful. One mistake and you're out. But we see other people, who've made mistakes in life, but have been welcomed back in. Look, I'm not going to keep going on about it, but I just think that it is inexcusable, Marshall. I'm not here to make excuses for his behaviour. That's not what I'm saying at all. So let me make that clear. I'm not excusing his behaviour. What I'm saying is people make mistakes. He's now with her. And, we have to move on. They've moved on. Yeah, with fame comes responsibility. 100%. I just think that, at that age, it's very, very difficult. But I don't condone that sort of behaviour. Let's go on to one of the other games last night. Newcastle versus PSV. PSV. I mean, it was good to see Perisic playing last night. Always loved him. Such a fantastic player. Still managing to play despite Spurs getting rid of him, that he was finished. I think he's had like 3 seasons since he's gone now. But they gifted Newcastle 2 very quick and easy goals. Vissa scored his first Champions League goal. And Gordon and Barnes getting the other 2. The only bad news for them is Bruno Guimaraes getting injured. He has been the hub of that team. He's been absolutely fantastic for them. And he'll be a big, big miss. He'll certainly be a big miss if it's a bad injury for their next game next week, when they are due to play PSG away from home. And the table is very, very tight. Unfortunately, as a Spurs fan, Arsenal are at top. Now, I don't know if you know the new rules as opposed to last season's rules. Last season's rules, basically, if you were first, second, it didn't make any difference with home advantage. It came out as a draw. But from this season onwards, if you're first and second, you're guaranteed home advantage in the second leg all the way through to the final. If you're in the first four, you're guaranteed home second leg all the way to the quarterfinals, last 16 and quarterfinals. So it definitely means something to try and get in that top four. At the moment, Liverpool are holding that position, and probably I would say are favourites, but you never know what's going to happen there. But it's really, really tight. It's crazy to think that Spurs are, with a win against Eintracht Frankfurt, who lost, I believe, to Karabag on Tuesday night, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. A win against them, and we are in the top 8. That's huge. So it's obvious that the Spurs board and the hierarchy have now decided to forget about the Premier League and just concentrate on winning the Champions League. Yeah, of course. So Spurs are behind Liverpool. There's 2 teams on first. So you have Arsenal on 21 points, Bayern Munich on 18 points, and then you have Real Madrid and Liverpool on 15 points each. On 3rd and 4th place, Spurs in 5th place, and then behind them, Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle. So one of those is not going to go above Spurs, that's for sure, which is good news. Chelsea on 13 points with Barcelona, Sporting, Manchester City, and Athletic Club, and Atalanta. So Spurs, if they did lose, could drop down to about 14th, 15th place, but would still give them a seeded position now. They're guaranteed to be seeded into the next round, which is good news for us. What's we got here? Let's have a look at some of the comments. 6 teams on 13 points. Yeah, exactly. But we are guaranteed, Cantab, to be seeded, which is definitely going to be a good thing, which means that, it's a good thing, believe me. One of the other things I wanted to talk about, actually, was this season, strikers struggling for goals, right? I don't know what you think about this. We got Victor Gyökeres, Sesko, Voltemade. They're all struggling for goals between the lines, right? Premier League strikers are scoring fewer goals despite massive attacking investment by clubs during the summer transfer window. Between the lines, so breaking down the challenges facing forwards as teams use defensive compactness. Hello. Guess who's back? I
thought I'd just wait to see Alan before you look up at the screen again. How are you?
I'm great, mate.
I just let myself in. Just let myself in, unannounced, uninvited.
Oh, mate, you're always invited. Great to see you here, mate. Let me tell you, I've tried to whittle through on my debut.
How you getting on?
Yeah. I mean, it's trying to talk and look at the screen. I don't, guys, if I missed some of your comments, apologies. Can't see everybody in there. I was just saying, Sean, about strikers like Gyökeres, Sesko, Voltemade and the likes struggling for goals. And when you think about how much money's been invested in the Premier League, a record amount on strikers, and yet they're scoring less goals. So
yeah,
I'm looking at
it. The game's gone, mate. The game's gone.
Yeah, there's restricted space, right? Defenses are more compact. There's less space. I mean, they spent 1.92 million pounds, right? Sorry, billion pounds on players categorized as forwards. 1.9.
Over how long a period?
I think over the last couple of years or 2 years, right? Categorized as forwards. So why are so many of them struggling? Erling Haaland, one of only 3 forwards to have reached double figures for the Premier League this season, along with Thiago and City's new signing, Semenyo. I mean, that is a goal drought, mate.
Yeah. Did you see Jamie O'Hara's comments. He was on the sports bar and he was talking to I forget who, another ex-footballer. And Jamie O'Hara goes, right, I was a Premier League player, right? I was an average Premier League player. And he's waiting for his co-host to go, no, you weren't, Jamie. You were really good. You were really good. And the other guy goes, yeah. and he goes, no, I mean, no, I was an Jermaine Pennant, was it? THFCK.
Oh,
yeah.
It was, all right.
He goes, yeah. And he goes, no, I was an average footballer. And the guy's like, yeah, you want me to sit here and tell you that you weren't, that you were really good, but I'm not. You're right. Go on, carry on. What's your point? And he goes, well, all I was going to say is I was average back then, but I think I'd be very good right now. He goes, he thinks that the standard's dropped. And like, to a degree, I still don't make Jamie O'Hara to be a decent player in this generation. I thought he was always bang average, but
he's average, mate.
He's average, yeah.
He was average.
But he's got a point that the standard of football, like, it's less about being a good footballer now, it's about being a good athlete, isn't it? That's really what it's become about.
Yeah, I mean, look, Erling Haaland, since I'll look at it now, since December the 27th, right? He didn't score a goal against Forest, didn't score a goal against Sunderland, didn't score a goal against Chelsea, scored one against Brighton, didn't score in the 10-1 win against Exeter, didn't score in the 2-0 win.
Did he play in that game?
Yeah, he came on as a sub, I think. Didn't score against Man United and didn't score last night against the other night against Bodo Glimt when he had two cast iron chances, right? The average number of goals scored by forwards has dropped to its lowest point in 10 years. The lowest in 10 years. 1.36 per game, down from 1.58 per game last season and 1.69 per game in the season before.
What's this? Strikers per average per
Scores
90?
Average goals forwards has dropped, yeah.
Per 90. Wow.
Yeah. It's dropped massively. Wow. It's massively.
So where has the overall goals dropped as well then?
Yeah, well, it's dropped. The numbers are part of a Premier League-wide decline in open play goals. The average has fallen significantly this season as a growing number of teams place a greater emphasis on set pieces, while defenders are getting more touches in the opposition box, encouraged to get on the end of corners and free kicks. Forwards are getting fewer, finding themselves crowded out by the overcrowding in the box.
And do you know what? All of the teams that are doing well in fantasy football, they all use a back five model. They all have 5 defenders and 2 strikers, rather than back in the day. It was always like you put as the best strikers.
3 attackers.
Always right.
3 attackers. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta articulated some of the challenges facing forwards when asked about Gyökeres. I think it goes for all the number 9s in the league and how difficult it is to play right now. That position nowadays, with the physicality, the dominance of centre-backs, the quality of them, and the lack of space as well during the games for them to exploit. Premier League penalty boxes have become more crowded hunting grounds. The number of defensive and offensive players in the box when passes are played into the area has increased steadily in recent seasons, hitting a new high this term. Naturally, it's harder for forwards to get shots off in that context. The increase from an average of 8 players in a box, 2019, to 9.4 to 10 this season is ever more striking proportionally. Increasingly, Premier League teams are prioritising off-the-ball compactness in order to nullify their opponents. A team is defined as being compact shape when all of its outfield players are compacted into a 25 metre of each other vertically. But he's saying the window of opportunity for attacking teams has been reduced, with instances of defences becoming stretched, also way down on previous seasons, from roughly 80 per 90 minutes to 60 per 90 minutes recently. I mean, the last 10 fixtures yielded a combined total of only 16 goals, Sean. And we've been talking about how the football's boring. It's robotic. It's not the football I love.
No, I hate it. I think it's turning people away. I think the cost of what you're experiencing isn't worth it anymore. It's like going to the bloody opera or something, unless you're into that. Why are you paying 200 quid to watch a woman sing in a language you can't understand? It's the value
Well,
for money's not
depends
there.
who's singing. Depends who's singing. If it's her off of Britain's Got Talent, what was her name?
Susan Boyle.
If it's Susan Boyle
with the chabby ankles.
Yeah. If it's unshaved Susan Boyle, right, I'm not in.
Yeah.
Definitely not for me.
Listen, I mean, it's interesting. I wasn't aware of those stats, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me because I think your eyes don't lie. I don't think, and I think most people think the game has become really boring, and those stats are. It's interesting though, right? Like maybe that's is Harry Kane just like a super intelligent footballer in as much as he realizes that stuff, and so he brings his value increasingly by coming further down the pitch where he has a bit more space to operate. And what does it mean for the future?
Yeah.
What does it mean for the future, right? Like, does it mean that Alan Shearer's Premier League goal scoring record is going to remain untouched because in the future, even the best strikers are just not going to score as many goals? And is suddenly like a 10-goal a season striker, someone that you're going to be paying 60, 70 million for because the days of 20-goal a season strikers, if this trend continues, I mean, but these things always pivot, right? The pendulum always swings one way and then it recalibrates back. But yeah, it does beg the question around what is it you're looking for now in footballers. And, if you're looking for machines, maybe that makes sense is why Tottenham went and signed someone like Conor Gallagher. Like the guy doesn't get injured, well, until he comes to Tottenham. But, he's definitely going to break his leg next week, no doubt. But just more and more players of that kind of ilk, right? Like that guy, that guy Nemeka who plays for Fabian Nemeka, I think his name is, plays for Dortmund that Tottenham were looking at. Proper robot, big guy. I don't rate his passing. I don't rate a lot of his game, but he's valued like 60, 65 million quid or euros. But he's just, he's always been thought of as like, someone that's going to like sort of just really rise up and stand out. But I think if he does, it will be because of his frame, his physicality, his engine, all of these things that are important. But like, I don't really want an ultra marathon runner. I don't really want a swimmer. I want someone who can kick a ball and make the game look pretty. And I don't think that's just those sorts of players are not rewarded anymore. So the game has gone.
I've got to say, I was mentioning this to you before about Richarlison. Richarlison, before he got injured, was spending more time adopting the Harry Kane role in his defensive position, heading balls away. There was more focus on that than there was getting the ball to Richarlison at set pieces so he could win that same header. If you believe Richarlison is the guy to clear the ball every time for set pieces, to be that guy on the back post, the near post, to head the ball away, why aren't you focusing? If you believe in his ability of heading that much, why aren't you doing it in the attacking third and concentrating on the final third and those set pieces, getting his head on the ball so he could score? Because we know he can head the ball.
The question, right? If let's say apart from take out the goalkeepers, let's say that there's probably, I don't know, 18 players that are in the box during somewhere between 16 and 18 players that are in the box. They're like the opposition, like the defensive team will leave one man up. The offensive team will leave two men back, right? And then the goalkeeper's back. But apart from that, everybody else is in the box. And yet, when the ball gets whipped in, what percentage of corners are cleared versus is the first header won by an offensive player? I'd say 75, 80% probably. I'm just hazarding a guess. Are won by the defensive team rather than the offensive team.
Yeah,
but you begs the question why? Because the defensive team has just one extra man in the box most of the time, which will be the goalkeeper, maybe one additional person in their defending as well. But like you'd think that the law of averages would mean that it'll be closer to 50-50, but it's not.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. But the thing is, look, it's taken and not only that, this thing here about I'm sick of VAR always looking at excuses to disallow goals, but VAR has become more and more involved now with every single goal that's scored from a set piece. Was he pushing him? Was he blocking him? Or when he's offside, but he's not offside, but he's interfering with play? Well, no, he's offside, but he's not I mean, like, it's the myriad of excuses of disallowing some of the goals. There is absolutely no consistency. I can't tell. I mean, it's bad enough in the stadium when the people are paying the money don't know. But when I'm sat at home and I'm listening to the pundits who have played football all their lives, well, I think that's a handball. He's definitely touched that in the ball as he's gone up to head the ball. It's hit his hand. No, it's definitely not. Oh, well, so they're looking at the first play, the second play, the third play. Oh, no, it didn't touch his hand, but actually his ankle, the edge of his ankle is offside, but he's actually blocking the player. He's blocking the goalkeeper. Is crap now. There's so many players in the box now. It's a free for all. I don't understand, and I always go on this when I watch Spurs play. Why do we not have a player when we're defending, a player at the edge of the box, and one or two players on the halfway line? Because first of all, it means if the ball comes out, that player on the edge of the box can get that ball straight up to the player on the halfway line.
Well, if you're going to do that, you need a goalkeeper that can distribute, right? Because it's going to be the goalkeeper that claims if you're going to utilize that, it's usually the goalkeeper. It out. Yeah, he punches it or just grabs it and then launches it. But we saw against Monaco, the Monaco goalkeeper, I forget his name, he was brilliant with his distribution, and they left that Kliusha and whoever else it was. And it made Tottenham have to really think about it, right? And then we saw it against Aston Villa in the FA Cup. I'm sure it happens in other games as well, but I just can't think of any off the top of my head. But for Tottenham, it's happened twice this season where we've really nearly been caught out. In fact, we almost got caught out in the Dortmund game.
Correct.
Remember that as well? It almost happened when Adeyemi got broke through and then he stood on the ball. But it is a tool. But I guess it's just whether your manager is pro risk or risk averse. Because if you're leaving two men up, that means there's two fewer players in the box. That's going to be there to win the defensive header. But it naturally means the other team has to reset and reorganize in accordance.
But I'm not being funny. I don't need Xavi Simons in the box, mate. you know, I don't need Xavi Simons in the box. Put Xavi Simons on the edge of the box that the ball comes out. He's going to pick up the ball and carry it.
Yeah.
And leave someone who's pacey like an Odegaard on the halfway line. And leave those two and leave the players who are going to head the ball.
That's a good point.
Solanke.
What actual value is Odegaard and Xavi Simons going to provide in an aerial melee? Not a lot, right? None. No, it's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah.
Elbowed out the way, it's.
But it takes someone to be proactive, and I think most managers are not just ours, but I think a lot of managers are more concerned about. You take that risk and it doesn't work out. If you concede a goal, the obvious question is why did you leave two men forward? There's always Monday morning quarterbacking, haven't you? They go, that would never have happened if you hadn't been so bloody stupid.
Oh, one bit of news. According to Ben Jacobs, Spurs are bidding £35 million for Zanesi.
No, he's come out and he responded to that tweet and he went, I didn't say anything of the sort. Stop making rubbish up.
Covering his backside, is he?
Yeah. But listen, Senesi's cracking player. He's only got 6 months. Yeah, so would I. 100%. He's only got 6 months left on his contract. So I would imagine that, look, if Mark Gahey went for 20 million, I would imagine that you could get Senesi for 15 or 20 because he doesn't have he's not the same level of player and he doesn't have the English homegrown thing either. So I don't see why a club isn't coming in to try to snab him for 15 million quid.
I don't know either.
What are Bournemouth going to do? Like, go, you know what? It's better for us just to. I mean, Bournemouth aren't going to get relegated, and they're going to lose him for free in the summer anyway, aren't they? So,
I think Clivert. Yeah, I think Clivert will go as well. I think he's another one. I was just mentioning, Sean, before you came on, that there's an interesting game tonight: Fenerbahce versus Aston Villa, and John Duran, who done the hokey cokey and has ended up in Turkey. He got a 2-game ban that they appealed and he reduced it to 1 game ban. So he's now facing Aston Villa tonight. Do you think he owes them a thing or two?
Yeah.
Right. Him and Asensio both facing Aston Villa tonight in the game. It's I think it's on 5. Is it 5 o'clock? 5:30?
Be a good game, that one. Did you see how good? I know they lost last night, Marseille to Liverpool, but did you see Mason Greenwood?
Oh mate, I've been talking about him.
He's so good.
Honestly, I had a big conversation.
Such a good player. It was such a shame a shame he ruined his reputation in England.
But
such a good player.
Sean, look, I don't want to keep going over this, but like it was divided. Some people say, with fame comes responsibility and all of that. And we've seen the video. You can't deny what we saw. But my point is, he's having a second child with this girl. They're still together. We've all acted like donuts. I'm not saying we've all gone around clomping women, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying any of that, and I don't condone it. But at that age, are we
No, of
to
course,
punish,
I know.
we to punish a guy? Are we to punish a guy? Look, I'll be honest with you. Had he not been with this girl and this girl still telling us about the trauma, categorically not a chance.
Yeah, I know, but it also begs the question that she acted out because she was mad or whatever else, and she released the things. And at the end of the day, like no charges were pushed because she dropped the charges. But
yeah,
you could also make the assertion that if that guy wasn't a multi-millionaire footballer, then maybe the charges would have stayed because she saw she was on a good wicket, kind of thing. At the end of the day, we heard what we heard and we saw what we saw.
Correct.
You're right. He was a child, was a young guy, whatever. Either way, like I don't really care. Like it's their life. If she's happy and he's happy, good for them. I'm not sort of talking about it from that perspective. I'm talking about it from the perspective of what sort of what would his life be like playing away from home every week? It's none of my business whether she's like they're happy or whatever. Because I'm sure there's lots of people that get hit around by their husbands or whatever.
No, I'm not condoning any of that.
So, of course. I'm saying I don't even care. Like that's their business, right? If they've moved on from it, cool. Good luck to them, whatever. But I'm just saying, bringing him back to the Premier League, I don't think that he gets booed by French fans of Lens or Paris or whatever. I don't think they would even know or care about it. But if he came back and played for, let's say he went back and played for United again or Tottenham or anyone else, every time that he was to go away from home, what would be every time he touched the ball, there'd be songs sung, there'd be
But that's listen, I think he'll end up. Look, he is a fantastic footballer. I thought he was going on to great things. I was shocked. I thought he was going to be one of United's new legends. I'll be honest with you. Left foot, right foot, and everything else he had going on. His great eye for a goal, great eye for a pass. But listen, make no mistake about it. Neither Sean or myself are condoning his behaviour in any shape, way, or form. We're just saying, does time?
I thought it was deplorable, to be honest. Like my initial thoughts on it were the guy.
He should go to jail.
Yeah, he should be in jail. He should be in jail. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, like if like just because she didn't want to press charges, like at the end of the day, like the voice note was there. We heard it was essentially. It looked like it was assault, and the physical signs were there. I think the guy should be pressed. I thought he should have the charges pressed, regardless of what she wanted. So I'm on the side of the female in this one, 1,000,000%, 100%. But my point is that if they've patched it up and moved on, that's their business. Good luck to
them. And having a second child,
100%. All that stuff is fine. Like I say, it's none of my business. I don't really care. For me, the question is just about whether or not he could forge a career in the Premier League under the pressure and the scrutiny of what would be.
The answer is no.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But do we think that he could leave Marseille for a bigger club in Spain or Italy?
Yeah,
I believe so.
I think he's one of the best right wingers in European football right now.
Yeah.
I think he's unbelievable to watch.
Yeah.
He's strong, he's powerful, he's got a wicked right foot on him, he's got a lovely, delicious left foot on him, he's aggressive.
You can't defend against him. He
carries the ball better than most. Yeah. And he's young as well. What is he, 22 now, 21, 22? He's still got 13, 14 years in front of him.
Let me have a look. Let me just check his age. But look, as I said, don't get upset in the chat.
If it wasn't for that, and a club in England were just looking at him as the player and thinking I could bring him back, plus he's homegrown, I reckon he would be an £80 million player.
Easy. Absolutely easy. He's 24 years of age now.
24 now, is he? Wow.
24, yeah.
Do you know, I saw this video, right? Probably a guy of my age, right? Who said, do you remember the Football's Coming Home song from Baddiel and Skinner in the 1996 Euros? And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember it. I'm just thinking out loud. And he
Skinner and Baddiel.
Yeah, Baddiel and Skinner. Yeah, Skinner and Baddiel. He goes, and that song, 30 Years of Hurt, right? So they were referencing in 1966, right? The last time we won a trophy as England team. And he goes, back then, when you're in 1996, if however old you were, you're thinking 1966, that feels so long ago, right? Black and white TV, like it felt so. He goes, it's now 30 years since 1996. How quick has that time gone? I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's as far away from 1996 as 1966 was from 1996 at the time. It's amazing.
Time waits for no man.
Yeah, madness.
Time waits for no man. Look, we're not condoning it, but I just, it's a shame because I believe he'd be playing for England right now, and he'd be right up there. I mean, he was been in Spain, now he's at Marseille. They were very open, Marseille, last night, though, weren't they? I don't know if you saw the game, Sean.
Yeah, no, I did see it. Yeah, I did see it. It was a great game. Great game to watch.
Micky TK, mate. I mean,
oh, he's so good.
I mean, if he didn't have any luck last night, made a great run from outside
offside for the
inside.
first one, smashed the bar.
Yeah.
He's a class player, mate. But we knew he was going to be class, didn't we? We had no doubt about it when he was at Frankfurt and he went to Liverpool. He was the guy I wanted. Above, I never thought he'd come to Tottenham, but when he played against us, I thought
scored
Romero.
That goal. Do you remember the goal he scored against us?
Yeah, but I think Romero, when we went away to, that's right. But when we went away to their place, Romero put him in his pocket for the whole day, didn't let him get outside of like 2 feet away. And then when their number 10, whose name escapes me from memory right now, when he went off injured, I was like, that's a big deal because without the 10, it's going to be only Ekitike that's the threat. And Romero was just on one that night, absolutely on one. So he didn't have a particularly great night in Frankfurt against. I know you were there that night, weren't you?
Yeah.
Where are your papers?
Get on this train. They will march you through the forest. Yeah, we had searchlights, but through the forest. I had tickets, and I thought, no, I'm not going through that. I'm not going through that experience again. It was. Listen, the atmosphere was unbelievable at Frankfurt. Incredible. Absolutely. Like,
walking through the forest is a bit weird, though, isn't it?
Walking through the forest, being escorted onto the train.
A foggy forest with lights in the distance. You don't know where you're going. March ahead, England! You will march in order!
In order! And they were all of the police had the things on like this with all the padded shoulder pads, from Gladiators. Yeah,
Goetz. That was
Mario Goetz. Mario Goetz.
What a player he was, man! What a player he was.
Yeah. Good player. Look, I mean,
have you? I don't know what you spoke about before because I literally the only reason I saw you were on, I was just setting up the Spurs 5 show for tonight, and I was in StreamYard, and I was like, well, someone's live right now. I was like, oh, that's Johnny's live. I better fucking dial in and say hello then.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did, mate. I'm glad you did.
What's this? What is that? Sexy Sean Butler. Someone's found a picture of me from LinkedIn. You dirty little gits. That was back when that was in 2014.
Let's have a look.
What is that? I had a 6-pack back then. I was 6-pack. Yeah, good looking guy back then. Not anymore. Look at the state of me now.
Hey, still handsome, boy.
12 years later and about 12 stone.
Boy, you mention it, and I'll tell you if we've spoken about it because they've become coming in. Guys, if you're in the chat, come on, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I know there's loads of you who watch this show and never hit subscribe, so please hit the button. And if you want to talk in the chat, you have to hit the subscribe. But if you are here for the first time, please tell us what club you support and where you're from.
I wanted to ask you about the Champions League. I haven't actually looked at this, but I don't know if I caught you saying. I think as I was just joining, I heard you saying that obviously Tottenham are 5th, getting in the top 4 is important. Yeah. Have we looked at who the other teams around us' final games are? Like Chelsea's final game is against Napoli away.
Yeah,
right.
Tough.
Difficult. Tough.
Yeah.
PSG's final game is
Newcastle.
At home to Newcastle. Away. Yeah. Oh, sorry, at home. Sorry.
Yeah.
So 6th place, 7th. Okay, so on that basis, then only one of them can overtake us.
Correct.
Oh, actually, both of them could. If we lose and they both draw, then they would both overtake us. Who's Liverpool's final game against? Qarabag at home. That'll be fine for them.
Yeah.
Real Madrid's final game is Benfica away.
We're not going to finish top 4, I don't think.
Well, Liverpool will definitely beat Qarabag in all likelihood. Real Madrid have got Benfica away, which is not easy.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich have got PSV away, PSV were pretty
easy.
poor the other night,
Yeah.
and Arsenal aren't going to do anything. Arsenal already more than 3 points ahead of us, so that's irrelevant. And the threats from behind are there's a lot of teams on 13. Jesus Christ, mate! You see how many teams are on 13 points?
Yeah, there's
1, 2, 3, 4,
mirror.
5, 6. There's 8 teams on 13 points, mate.
Athletic Bilbao. So Atalanta, Athletic Bilbao, Man City, Sporting, Barcelona, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Paris Saint-Germain. Look, if we win, we're guaranteed 5th. It's as simple as that. We are guaranteed 5th. The top 4, I don't know if you heard it, but this year there's a rule change, Sean. If you're in the first 2, you're guaranteed the second game at home for every game all the way up to the semi-final and final. So you would be...
Oh, good. Well, that's the way it should have been. It was a joke last year that it wasn't it?
Yeah. And if you... Spurs right now are guaranteed to be seeded. If they end up in the playoffs, they're guaranteed to be seeded. But if you're in the top 8, then you're guaranteed to be the second, play the second game at home in both the last 16 and the quarterfinals.
Okay.
So that's still a big thing.
Still
that's
good,
a big thing. Yeah. So listen, we have to beat Eintracht Frankfurt. Newcastle have got a tough one.
What's good is that Frankfurt are out. Frankfurt can't even get into the playoffs, so that you'd hope that they're going to put. I'd love to. Who have Frankfurt got? Let's have a look. Who have Frankfurt got?
Well, they lost the carrier bag.
Frankfurt have got, but who have Frankfurt got in there? Let me have a look. Who have they got?
The league game.
Yeah, the league game. They've got Hoffenheim at home before the game, and then after the game, they've got Leverkusen at home. So they might rest players.
Yeah, listen, they want to get one back on us for what we did to them, knock them out.
But the only real incentive for them to win the game is to get 1.5 million quid in revenue.
Yeah,
Are you going to Frankfurt again, by the way?
No, I just said I'm not going to go. I could get a ticket. I've just decided for me, I'm not interested.
PTSD.
Listen, PTSD.
Where are your peppers, England?
I'm not going to Burnley either. Yeah, I'm not going to Burnley either. So I might do a watch along, Sean. Do you fancy doing a watch along? Burnley?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Burnley away.
I always do the watch alongs, yeah.
I don't think there's any other.
2014 and 2026, Sean, are equally as set. I need to know who that person is who's done this. I need to get that LinkedIn profile down, bro. I need to get it down. It's got.
Is that Barry from Barnsley? He's
I know who that is.
He's got a crush. You know who that is. Sexy Sean Butler. I'd love to know who that is.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any news before we go. Casemiro to leave Manchester United. That's the latest news. He's played 146 games for Man United, 21 goals since he joined, 33 years of age, and he was on, was it 300-400 grand a week or something ridiculous? Casemiro.
Yeah, he's on a fortune. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think nearly 400 grand a week.
Yeah. We spoke about Xerxes. Manchester United. Oh, this should be a good one. Xerxes, they're trying to now, Roma trying to restart the conversation now. Manchester United didn't want to do any conversations about Xerxes until Buemo came back fit and healthy from AFCON.
I feel like Roma and Napoli are the 2 Italian teams that are linked with every single player. Yeah. Every single player from every single club, and yet very, very few of them ever actually transpire. Like they are the sort of news now. If you were a transfer, if you happen to be a Napoli fan, you could be the Sean Butler of a Napoli fan. Every day you got a new transfer news, views, and clues to update. You know.
Here's an interesting story. It's just been released a few hours ago, actually. Manchester United have reportedly agreed a deal with production company Lionsgate, a big company, to produce a TV drama based on the club's history, according to Athletic. Who's playing Matt Busby? Wow. It was reported that the production is still in development stage, but is set to be similar format to The Crown, which sees the history of the royal family pay out over several seasons. Wow. So we're going to have the history of Man United.
Yeah, that'd be good though. That would actually be a really good. That'd be a really good
Yeah,
idea.
so
You have Alex Berg, all of the dramas with the David Beckhams, who's going to play all those parts? That'd be cool. I'd watch that.
who's going to do the football? Who's going to do the football scenes? United would receive multi-million-pound fee as a result of the agreement, with royalties being shared between the club and Lionsgate. Line of Duty creator, maybe there'll be guns as well in this, but
Yeah.
Lines of Duty, a Man United fan, Jed Marino, has been included in discussions with a potential series focusing on key moments throughout the club's history, including the air disaster and obviously Sir Alex's tenure. But here's one. There's a big up to Spurs fans and their protests. Manchester United fan group have announced their biggest ever protest. Manchester United fan group, the 1958 committee, has announced plans for the biggest ever fan protest against the club's owners. The protest is scheduled to take place ahead of the visit of Fulham on Sunday, February the 1st, live on Sky Sports. Organisers expect well over 6,000 who marched peacefully against Arsenal last May. This is no longer just about ownership. This is about our survival, the survival of our identity, the survival of our fan culture and our supporter community and our values. We are promised best in class, but for us, the club is a laughing stock, resembling a circus that includes the new stadium design, which looked like a circus. We call on every Man United fan who truly loves the club to join us in a march of solidarity and unity to show these despised, despicable owners how much we demand change right at the top. That'd be interesting to see. Will they have more than 150 at
Yeah. Yeah, listen, mate, I always maintain the same thing though, right? Like it's like, protests don't really directly change much. Like they indirectly can throw some pressure on.
Danny Dyer to play Roy Keane.
That would be brilliant. That'd be brilliant.
Have some.
Yeah. Did you see Eric Dyer's post-match interview after the Monaco Real Madrid game?
Oh, mate, he got absolutely slaughtered. He was at fault for 3 of the goals.
Yeah, I wasn't so much talking about the performance. I was talking more about his accent. His accent is just hilarious, right? He's pivoted into now a little bit French. He's also a little bit Portuguese. It's also a little bit English, mate. If he ends up going to West Ham, mate, he'll be talking like this in the next interview, won't he? Hello, Governor. Hello, it's always been a good time.
Hey, Jelly Deals. Now then,
the man, he's doing the Steve McLaren wherever he goes. He's got the new accent. He's got the.
When he went to Germany, that was hysterical when they interviewed
I would say, where are your goals? Where are your defensive contributions, Eric? Yes, versus
there. He started talking like that. Now he's
headline day to Upton Park. Oh, cool, blimey, Governor! It's been a long time since I've been down these here parts.
Yeah, Ramsey Nesbitt. As we've got let's have some more shows of ideas who could play. Russell Crowe playing Roy Keane.
Yeah,
Ramsey Nesbitt as Fergie.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, very good.
Sully, Spurs 150 at their place was quality over quantity. Fair enough. Protest got a protest. I want to see more. I want to see if there was Carl Pinkerton to play Nicky Butt. Do you know the what's the name?
Ricky Gervais's mate, isn't it? Carl Pilkington. Yeah,
Carl Pilkington. Yeah, this is if you just come in and wonder what the hell was going on, Manchester United are going to do like a crown on Manchester United, the history of Man United. So we're trying to find players, actors to play each of the parts. Are we going to have Wags? Are Wags going to be included?
Oh, for sure. Wayne. Oh, who's going to play Rooney's missus?
Yeah. She'll
get a starring role. What's her name? What was her name? Colleen Rooney. Colleen.
Who's going to play Wayne Rooney? Can they have animation? Can they have Disney animation?
Wayne Rooney will be played by Phil Mitchell.
Phil Mitchell.
Steve McFadden.
No, I'm talking about Shrek. You can... A little caption. We couldn't find an actor to play the part, so we
Animated.
animated Shrek.
Shrek comes in.
Shrek with an overhead
donkey!
kick.
Oh, donkey! Pass the ball, donkey!
Pass the ball, donkey.
Very good. Very good.
Cheryl Cole to play Colleen. That's a good one. Very funny.
Jim Cole.
Carrey. What's this? Jim Carrey as Lloyd's Christmas. Lloyd's Christmas. I'm not sure what that one is.
Lloyd Christmas.
Don't know who that is.
Lloyd Christmas was from Dumb and Dumber. He was Harry and Lloyd. He was the White York.
Harvey.
Stop it! Now we're going into the realms of cancellation mode.
Yeah.
Careful.
No, he can't play. He Shane McGowan to play Luke Chadwick.
Wow.
I'm sure we have some. Listen, when we go off screen, guys, if you're looking at this afterwards, put some of your comments in the chat. That's very funny, that one. Very, very funny. Okay, guys, I think that's about it. If you think of anything more, Sean?
No, I haven't even looked at football time. I've been out the whole day. Johnny, well done, mate. Well done. As I dropped in, everyone said you've been absolutely sensational, mate. You're a natural. Told you, mate. Told you. No
Thank you, guys. Thanks for your support. Couldn't do it without you. Listen, guys. Tomorrow, before I go, I have to tell you tell you a little something about tomorrow's guest. Okay. 1 second. Let me just find it.
Before you do that, Johnny, just real quick, guys. I got a message earlier from the man who sponsors us at OK Jersey. He couldn't be. He was like unbelievable amount of uptake from you guys. If you were looking for that that thing that I told him, I said to him, "You got to get that thing on there, and you'll make a lot."
We've been telling him. Told him again today. I've
been telling him. He's got it up there, and it's been unbelievable uptake. So if you are looking for that jersey, it's available. So go to OK Jersey and get it before they go, because I don't know how many they manufactured, but they're selling like hotcakes. So code Think at checkout gets you 8% off. Already amazing prices. Obviously not just for that, but for everything else. But don't forget OK Jersey's where you go. And listen, there's a lot of OK Jersey sponsors out there, and you got your choice of a lot of different codes to put in. Remember which codes you really want to support, right?
FINC. Sorry, not FINK.
Yeah.
FINC, guys. And as I said before, 1,901 reasons to get on and get that shirt. I was in the queue. 901, it was in my basket. 902, 1,901 were gone. Yeah. You don't have to be one of them.
And then they were on eBay an hour later for £1,000.
Yeah, I know. Taking the PIS. Outrageous. So listen, guys, tomorrow, if you can't make it, fine. Please watch the recording. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., Sean and I, we've got a special guest. First time we've had a guest on. Gary, former ex-Reading player. He has 25 years a sales specialist in elite sports performance and facility design. He's involved in sports science, fitness, rehabilitation, well-being. And he's been working on Hotspur Way and the White Webs extension. He's bang in the middle of it. So if you've got any questions about what's been going on there, what's been going on with our fitness training, our injuries, and things that are going on behind the club, or you're just interested in, no matter what the club you support, and you want to ask him questions about fitness, he's at the forefront of all the latest science and fitness machines and techniques. So we'll be doing that tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We'll also be doing other stuff, but he will be our special guest tomorrow. So come along and give us some support, guys. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Gary's awesome.
You really have a good chat.
Not entirely sure everything. He's going to talk from a fan's perspective rather than from a insider's perspective, but obviously he'll be able to layer some things in there. But it's going to be a fascinating conversation if you're interested in why it is maybe that Tottenham's medical. I think, Johnny, we have to beg the question, right? I'm going to be straight up with Gary. Gary, you're a part of the problem, bro.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, have you seen the video I posted today, right?
No, I've not seen anything.
Okay. So I posted a video today, Sean, and the whole commentary, I nipped it down to nearly 3 minutes of what was about 8 minutes of Lucas Bergvall getting injured, right? Lying down, hobbling
Oh no, I
around.
saw that. Sorry, I saw that. Yeah, I did
Yeah,
see that. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's got to be
Um,
something else. It can't just be because
and now he's out for
the
3 months.
The injuries happen obviously before the way that the medical team then adjudicate
Just
what
take
to
him
do.
off.
But yeah, that's fine. But like taking him off doesn't mean that he's suddenly not injured for 3 months or whatever.
No,
Right?
I'm not
So my
saying it
question is
doesn't.
just like
Why
people blame
exacerbate
Ange
it?
Postecoglou. It clearly wasn't an Ange Postecoglou thing. Like there has to be something going on because it happens too often, too frequently, for it to be a coincidence. Like it's either the fact that the artificial pitch or whatever it is, the NFL pitch is underneath it, or it's the training ground. Or there's a voodoo, a hoodoo, there's a curse, or there has to be something that explains it. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Gary's got to say on that one. It's going to be interesting.
Look, Sean, I'm not denying that he might have already been injured, right? But you're not telling me that jumping up and down on it and continue to run around on it for an extra 8 minutes hasn't exacerbated it. So it could have been, look, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I told you that Richarlison was in the red zone. And instead of resting him, they were resting Mawani.
Yeah.
Now, if they had rested him, given him the rest that he needed because he's played every bloody game, more or less, then we would have him now. And we would have a situation where we could actually dovetail both Richarlison and Solanke. Where now we've got a Solanke that's not fit.
That will get injured again before the end of the season.
No doubt. Yeah. And like come the weekend, we're going to be sat there with no I would have thought no Bergvall and now no Xavi Simons, more or less.
Yeah, Xavi Simons can't play with that ankle.
And no Paulinho.
Susan Boyle under in the 10.
Susan Boyle with her cankles. Susan Boyle's cankles. So all we have left, really, I think you've got to bring Basuma back. I think Basuma.
Yeah, you got Basuma, you got Conor Gallagher coming back in. Dragusin will be available. There's lots of players that will be available again that weren't available for the Champions League game. But in certain areas of the pitch, we are threadbare once again. And it's massively problematic. But I don't know what you do in the 10. Do you play Conor Gallagher in the 10? But we'll talk about that tomorrow anyway. We've got to do the predictions as well. But it should be a good show tomorrow, guys.
Okay, guys, listen, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thanks for the support. I popped my solo cherry.
Well done, Johnny.
I'm quite pleased with myself. And guys, hit the like and subscribe on the way out. And we will see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock UK time, with Gary, our special guest. Really look forward to it, guys. Thanks very much. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from the new host.
Bye.